You gonna learn today. It's your boy Clay, aka Big Slack, aka Sleaze Boogie Magoo, whatever. Uh, Back to do another little battle blog. This is the Rappers Stop That edition. We're gonna talk about a couple things, a few things that battle rappers do and say that just irk me. Might even be detrimental to the culture itself. First thing right off the bat, I'm gonna give you a couple examples of overused lines. I put a couple of these on Twitter here the last couple of weeks and got some feedback from it. Kind of gave me the idea to do this whole blog. But overused lines, prime example: late night like Letterman. Catch me doing work late night like Letterman. Okay, done to death. We get it. David Letterman has a show called Late Night with David Letterman, and it comes on late at night. You're in the streets doing work late night like Letterman. Retire that. Stop that. Another thing battle rappers do is reference how the opponent is lying and then talk about Mufasa or Simba from The Lion King. Yo, he say he got that work, but he lying, he Mufasa. Really? Like Disney? And usually this comes from those URL cats, them street cats. Hardest gangsters in the game, referencing Disney movies. Stop that. One of my personal favorites to hate is the Jersey line gun number. Or the Jersey number gun line. 22 to your back like Emmitt Smith. I'll put that 9 to your chest like Tony Romo. Stop it. Probably about like 2005 or 6, I did a track with a cat from out of town, and I said something along the lines of crisp crease in my khakis, got my Bosworth throwback. That's code for fofo, but the cops don't know that. Somewhat clever. This is 2006. I'm an underground nobody rapper from nowhere, and I'm coming up with this shit 6-7 years ago. If you're trying to compete, if you're a battle rapper today trying to compete and you're using fucking sports jersey numbers and then referencing guns, stop it. Also along these lines, LeBron with the Heat. It's no in any way, shape, form, no matter what angle you approach it at, any LeBron with the Heat line should be an automatic loss. That shit is not only corny as fuck, but been done to death. Call me LeBron, away I'm surrounded by the Heat. Stop that. Next little point. Talking after your opponent's round. When your opponent goes, and then before you spit something, you feel like you gotta verbally say something. Not in Ilmac would call them non-rhyming conversational rebuttals. Fuck speaking about it. Be about it. Put it, he had all Mexican jokes, but I'm Puerto Rican, so none of that shit applies. And then go straight into your fucking written. If you can't put it it's a rap battle, MC rap battle. If you can't come up with a simple setup that rhymes with something to get your point across, to make the point, to counteract what the fuck he just said, don't bring it up. If you can't rap about it, don't bring it up. That snarky, verbally saying shit in between rounds just fucking irks the shit out of me. It's a rap battle. Rap about it, motherfuckers. Some of my SOT alumni will remember at School of Thought 2, I wore the shirt that said, "Shut the fuck up and rap." That applies here. Shut the fuck up and rap. Last little point I'm going to get into. Cats are always saying, bars over jokes, personals over gun lines, or gun lines over personals, over jokes, whatever. Stop that. Battle rap is an immeasurable concoction of elements. You can't measure it. If you think you can win strictly by doing, or you think you can, gun rhymes always beat jokes, or jokes always beat personals, it's immeasurable. You can't measure it out. Some cats, like take HFK from King of the Dot. I hate that motherfucker. He only does jokes and shitty, horrible, whack, your mama so fat she broke her leg and gravy poured out type fucking jokes. But somehow it works for him. You know, I fucking hate it. But for a while, he was getting a shitload of battles. He was one of the top names in KOTD, doing pretty much strictly just fucking jokes. So, you know, as much as I hate the motherfucker, you can't really hate on him. It's like Street Fighter. Remember that game? The character E Honda had that slap. If you knew how to do that fucking arm slap just good enough, you could win the entire game just off that one move. It didn't matter how many other characters. You know, I know 50 roundhouse and all the special moves. If you knew that, if you knew how to do that one move with that one character, you could win the whole fucking game. Now, if you get beat by that one fucking move, you'll be a mad motherfucker. So, you know, I get that, but still, you get beat, you still lost, motherfucker. You know, do whatever it takes to win. It's a battle. Do whatever. Like me personally, I like personals. Personally, I like personals. Say something fucked up about the other person that's true or based in some truth. If I'm battling you and you got a kid with Down syndrome, I'm calling little motherfucker Corky. You know, you don't like it, don't battle. That's personally why I don't battle. I've had numerous offers to battle because I can rap a little bit and I know the shit out of this culture. So I've had offers to battle. Don't want to do it. When you battle, you're pretty much giving your opponent permission. You say the most fucked up shit about me that you can, and I'm gonna do the same to you. You know, it's like taking a boxing match. You're allowing that person to punch you in the face. I know you're gonna punch me in the face, and that's okay because I can punch you harder. Well, I may be able to diss you better than you can diss me, but that don't mean I want you to stand in my face and say some shit. You may say something about my mom, and if it's clever, I may smile and nod my head and smile. You may say something about my wife, if it's clever, I may smile and nod it off. You say something about my grandfather, and I may snap the fuck out, and now I'm fist fucking your throat in front of everybody, you know. And I got too much respect for the culture and the art form. I know it sounds funny to call it an art form when two cats is calling each other faggot and talking about each other's mamas, but it's a fucking art form, and I love it. And I love it too much to fuck it up by catching feelings, and that's what the fuck I'll end up doing. So, but I digress. Bars over jokes, guns, bars over bullshit, gun lines. There's no one way to win a fucking battle. It's an immeasurable concoction, the formula. You can't figure it out. You ain't gonna know what works until you step out there and do it. So, if you bring strictly gun lines and a cat brings strictly jokes or half jokes and half personals or whatever, and you get beat just because you think, I should have won because I had guns, you're a fucking mook. Stop that. So this has been my Rappers Stop That battle blog. Stop that, motherfucker.